What's going on there, Mick Tuckett?
How good is it to see you?
It's great. It's better to see you.
in person, right?
Better to see you in person.
You kind of give, once, you give me the Heisman for a while and understood.
No, I didn't give you the Heisman. Health gave the world the Heisman.
I put a picture of on a body of your head with the Heisman.
Right.
Yeah.
And they thought it was Steve Mariucci.
They thought Steve Mariucci. You know what I mean?
Somebody,
you got a little Mariucci.
They called me Steve Mariucci on Saturday night. I'm like, Steve Mariucci? That's a compliment, man. Yeah. We have the Way the Wild won on Saturday.
Oh, my gosh.
I got a chance to watch the entire game.
Yeah.
I attended Thursday night's game, so I've actually seen 2 consecutive full Wild games, which needs to start happening more. Gophers hockey, we heard you on the call this weekend. So there are myriad things coming your way. I just want to finish this dealer's choice wheel of fun. Yeah. Because you're an elite all sports mind.
Love it. Yeah.
And I wrote this on a page, an ancillary page, forgot to put it in the dealer's choice for Nordo.
Are you mad I lost the half point?
Say it again.
Should have bought the half point.
Really? You took the Rams?
Of course.
Yeah. If this state isn't this state and I don't do what I do for the football team, I'm smacking the Bears on the money line. So I would have taken a fat L.
Yeah, you would have.
Well, the key, I think it ballooned, and I don't know what.
Well, it was plus 180.
Well, no, I thought it ballooned to 4.5.
Oh, did it?
Oh,
well, I got it early.
Yeah, on Saturday night. That's the key. Is 4.5.
I'm
definitely makes you start thinking Bears plus
for sure.
Yeah, that plus 180. I'm home. I think the weather's only going to help me even out things against these high enders. I like my coach. And I get plus 180? Well, that's good enough to eat. Well, it would have been. And instead, I would have gone starving.
I think the Bears found a quarterback, huh?
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
When I say, did Ben get soft at the wrong time? I'm not. I have an opinion, but I'm going to lay it out here as the dealer for those at the verbal table.
Can I guess?
No.
Okay.
To see what you guys think.
Okay.
When I say did Ben get soft at the wrong time, should he have gone for a 2-point conversion at the end of regulation? Now, I watched the game with about 7 people last night, and
thanks for the invite.
I said this. I was actually invited to somebody else's.
Okay.
So I said this when they scored, and didn't want to get into the context of it. Certainly didn't want to argue. Last thing I want to do today also is argue, because today is
that's all we do.
Today's MLK Day. This is the first MLK Day I've been in the studio in about 7 years.
Yeah.
So the last thing I want to do is argue on a paid off holiday where I'm actually here. So I'm gonna lay it out for you right now.
Okay.
When you go for 4th down and take the chances that man takes
instead of the points
as frequently as he does, and you have a chance to end the football game right there, I was shocked. I ain't saying it's the wrong decision, because it's impossible to say right or wrong, because it didn't happen. And then they played overtime and had a chance.
In hindsight, right?
But if you look at that man's past performances and the way he has treated offense since 2022, I'm still blown away. He did not go for a 2-point conversion to either it'll end the season, his or theirs. And good morning.
I'm going to take it back a little bit. He could have, on the 4th downs that he did go for and not taking the points.
Field goal bit?
Yes.
Yeah, I was hearing that last night, too.
Only because of the weather and the conditions, right? Mm-hmm. Points were hard to come by.
Yeah.
Secondly, and Nordo, you can please chime in after.
Okay.
From where the Bears have been, their past, you have to show some gumption to try to win the game.
How do you not have, and you do have it, how do you not consider some unbalanced extra offensive lineman, Theo Benedette, leaking into the back center of the end zone?
Yes.
You've had that in your back pocket the entire season because you got all the tricks.
And thirdly,
you see him try that in midfield.
We don't get there.
It was awful.
I mean, this guy, you cannot take down, right? Caleb, I'm talking about.
It's tough to take down.
The inability to use his legs more in that first half,
right.
He didn't.
But
he had -1 yard rushing at one point in the game in the second half. And then he started using his legs a little bit.
Yeah. If Johnson goes for 2,
yes,
to win the game and advance to the NFC title game,
I got to wait a little bit, but yes,
and it doesn't work, how can you be mad at him?
You can't.
I mean, unless you season long were like, eventually this swashbuckling, cocksure, overly aggressive approach to football is going to cost you. Well, the overly aggressive, at times, swashbuckling, cocksure nature of offensive football is the reason he got the job and the reason he got paid what he got. He went away from his calling card.
And get this one, from the Rams' perspective, too, I thought it was 3rd and 9, whatever it was, in overtime. Mm-hmm. No, at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. At the end of the game. Mm-hmm. 2.5. And they ran the ball and they said, Chicago, we're going to give you a chance to tie this game up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They gave him the ball back, right? With well over 2 minutes.
Well, it was,
and they're punting into the wind.
No,
and
the Ben Johnson timeout with 2:07 left was brilliant. It was brilliant 100%. Because he was trying to force him to punt before the 2-minute warning.
Yes, and he did.
Yeah.
Yes,
and he did. Right.
Yeah, and he did.
That's good work.
I think that's the only thing the Rams can do when they're at their own 14. Is you kind of, as soon as you get no track.
You have the best receiver in not the best receiver.
Who does?
The Rams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think you had to at that point. You're back so far up. Any mistake against the team that had the most takeaways in the
9,
NFL.
Yeah, and most takeaways. But
what are we talking about?
But anything
we're talking about the 3rd 9, and then forcing the Rams to punt and giving giving Chicago the ball at the 50-yard line.
Yeah. Anything save a first down. Anything save getting explosive. An incomplete pass would then save that second timeout. And
but
then anything save a first down is the same result where Ben Johnson calls the timeout.
Yeah.
And they're still punting.
But that plays into what I'm saying.
But so you make that first down, the game is over.
He does things like that.
McVay or Johnson?
Johnson coaches that way. Yeah. And there were times in the Green Bay game, Nordo and I were texting about it. Man, he was like 2 for 6 on 4th down.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to stop.
But that's who. It's not like he's an addict out of control. No, that's part of his bit.
Yeah.
That's part of who he is and what makes him different.
And then to not do it.
And then he didn't try to dagger somebody.
And he's got Loveland, who is, a stud.
Right. Yeah. And they still they still found their way to get that.
How about that?
There are two things that I look at.
So
there are two things that I'm looking at.
You need luck to win, Paul.
Mm-hmm. Sitting on my couch with the advantage of hindsight. They get turned over on downs the previous possession at the doorstep at the 2, which led to that drive that Micheletti's talking about, timeouts and punting before the 2-minute warning.
It's a good point.
I wonder if that factored into his mindset.
That's a good point.
Where we had tried a couple of different unique runs. Mm-hmm. We even had a rollout with Caleb. And everything we tried looked ugly, and it was unsuccessful.
But you know what they didn't try? Using Caleb to run it in. A little bootleg.
Yeah.
Good luck.
No,
good luck.
So I wonder if that factored in. I was not mad one way or the other that he didn't go for it.
I was surprised.
The momentum, and the only thing I'm thinking of as well, how do you almost had to, I don't know if they still had a timeout in their pocket or not. I'd have to go look. But I
think they were out.
They just scored that touchdown. Yep. And Caleb is trying to be game face, no emotional expression.
Right.
The Soldier Field's about to implode because of what just happened. How do you regroup and execute the most important play of
the
your
magnification
season?
of the moment?
I just wonder if that factors in.
But I would look at it the other way.
Yes, I know where you're going.
Cam Curl, he couldn't see it. His head was spinning.
Yeah, and Durant,
not Durant, not Cam
getting
Curl,
lost
Durant.
in the end zone the way he did.
Those guys had to be brain boggled at what had just happened.
That's a great point.
Don't you want to capitalize on that?
So, what about then the other thing that I would say, if you could go back in time, is you just did that to Curl and Durant and everybody. Do you take the ball first in overtime? There's the obvious philosophy of, well, you want to know what you have to do. you have those guys on freaking skates. Now, I guess I'm arguing against my own logic. The idea of you have them on skates, just go for 2.
Yeah.
But take the ball first in OT, and then
momentum,
how things play. Well, but then you get the next possession. After both teams get one, you get the third possession. You get the second the second first chance. After that punt. I'm curious. So two things.
Pat, in football, that's last change.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
See, you get the last change. You can appreciate the last
change. You're
change,
at home.
Mick.
It really matters.
Not on the fly.
So those are two things. I think
you make a good point.
I think that the getting stopped at the doorstep and the magnitude of the moment maybe led to him saying, let's just get to OT, get our heads about us. I got assistant coaches running on the field thinking the game's over, and thankfully we weren't flagged for that.
Yeah.
Taking a 48-yard extra point from Cairo Santos.
I think you're right. Now when they ran DeAndre Swift to the right, and he got stood up, I think, by Jared Verse.
Yeah.
Well, that's watch it back if you get the opportunity or if you care. And if you don't, I'm not offended.
No, but I do care.
It was an unbelievably good play call by Ben Johnson, and all they needed was one thing that didn't happen. Roma Dunze to block.
Yeah.
Roma Dunze missed his guy.
Yes, he did. It was horrible.
I mean, that's ultimate team game stuff here.
And Puka Nacua makes a block on the Kyrie Williams touchdown.
Puka Nacua blocking. I mean, it's like if you're down left tackles, use Puka Nacua. I mean, seriously,
one of the toughest dudes
so
in the league.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
But it because if I'm a Bears fan or if I'm doing 9 to noon on whatever in Chicago, and he goes for the dagger and it doesn't work, I'm not mad.
No.
Because that's my coach, man.
And that's
I like that dagger mentality.
And even if you don't get it, that tells everybody.
But I think Norton brings up a good point. The frenzied nature of the whole situation made it more difficult to get mentally squared away.
Okay.
To call the right. Yeah, that's
okay. A good how point. About this?
I wasn't mentally squared away, and I was watching it at home. What did I just see?
Let me go on the flip side of that. Yeah. Are the Rams all discombobulated about just what happened?
They are.
Right?
Yeah. Kobe Turner couldn't breathe.
Right.
I mean, he could have taken advantage of these big guys, too, who they were so overtaken by the moment that, big people weren't breathing well at that moment.
Let me ask you this question.
Their goal line work was so good yesterday, though. Wow.
The interception.
They're so good.
The interception that eventually led to the win.
Anatomy of a Final Four.
Chris Collinsworth completely skewered DJ Moore.
Well, he should be skewered.
Okay.
He stopped running, and he didn't flatten out the route.
That's my question. I'm not forming an opinion. I'm asking a question.
Yeah.
I mean, who's it on? Caleb or Moore?
I mean, it's a breakup in communication. Platter? But to watch it back and to watch DJ Moore stop running during a play, that's the tell.
And didn't look for the ball.
Well,
but he's got a break anyway, right?
But you worst case scenario, become a defensive back and tackle Cam Curl about ready to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So
right.
I think more will come out with that as the week goes on, like what the play call was. But there's just a big space of real estate that's open right in front of Cam Curl. And you just got to believe flattening out the route would put him in that spot.
Yeah.
So that's some
Can I ask you one more question?
Sure.
Did the referees cost McDermott his job?
I mean, the officiating in the National Football League and the NBA is so at an all-time worst.
You need to go full-time.
The officiating
and get younger and...
It wasn't great. I mean, the ball was bouncing about. It wasn't completely secure.
So true. But so what's a catch? What's not a catch?
Right.
You know, I mean, we go to that one again. And
right, what I
I'm
look
so
like, Des Bryant.
Yeah.
All right, that's Pat Micheletti at Pat Mick 2626 at Pat Mick 2626. Hockey when we return, but first.
The Fan wants to give you a chance to win some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. Use the keyword bank at KFAN.com. The keyword is bank. You might win some money if you enter it now. KFAN.com.
10:25, Monday, 9 to noon. Pat Micheletti. excellent win for the Wild Saturday. You may have needed a stiff drink, but they left Buffalo with a 5-4 OT win. What'd you think of that Saturday Wild victory, Mick Tockett? And good morning.
Well, I thought the message going into the game that John Hines sent was perfect for this team. And be careful of a team that is wounded, because they.
For those who
how many times have we seen it? Well, the message was, let's not worry about who's out of the lineup. Let's worry about what we have and what do we have to do to win the game.
Yep.
And I think that resonated with everybody. And what happens, and you've seen it, we've all seen it. When a team is down, they band together, they work harder, they play for one another, they protect their goaltender, all those little things. And they did that. And against a team that had won 15 of their last 17 games. At one point of the year of the season, the worst team in the National Hockey League.
Right. Trade
everybody, fire everybody, and they ended up firing their GM.
They did.
Who brought in all these guys, by the way. Mm-hmm. But just a change of mentality for Buffalo, has put them in a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So it was a huge, huge win, especially what they have coming up on the rest of the road trip. Before the Olympics.
I haven't watched the Sabres consistently since Gilbert Perreault.
Yeah, a lot of really, really, really good players.
Well, I mean, the speed.
Yeah.
Holy cow, what a fast team that is.
Yeah, they're fast, they're skilled. Their goaltending has been a problem in the past. Their decor has been a problem in the past. Mm-hmm. But they Lindy Ruff is their coach, who, was expected to get fired too at one point. But they just started playing like they're capable of, and it's really nice to see that city, like Minnesota, like Minneapolis, St. Paul.
That was a tough Saturday for Buffalo pro sports fans.
It really was.
I mean, you talk about sketchy calls going against you. Yeah, there was a dicey call into regulation, which ended up putting the Wild on a power play in the early stages or part of the overtime. Dicey call, and then the Bills with that whole interception fiasco at the at the end of the Denver game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough being a Buffalo sports fan that day. Mr. Hines' team was down Brodin, Eric Zanek, Boldy, Bogosian, and Johansson.
Yeah.
Grabbed 2 points from a team that won 15 of its last 17. The grit, like Patrick said, that was apparent. What are you seeing with Kaprizov? He had 3 assists in Buffalo. He has 3 multi-goal games this season. During these injuries, he's going to need to shine. He has some shine to him now, no doubt about it. Ain't nobody running down 97. But when you're down what they're down, I'm just looking for him to shine in different ways.
Well, everyone is looking for him to get 6 points a game, and that's not reality. So when he doesn't get 6 points a game, what's wrong with Kaprizov?
Right.
I don't go down that road.
Right.
Kaprizov is Kaprizov.
Right.
And so I leave it right there. That's my answer.
That's fair.
That's my answer.
Mm-hmm. So what are you seeing from him?
I'm seeing.
You love everything?
I do. Mm-hmm. I don't nitpick every shift that he has.
Yeah.
And, a potential turnover at the blue line because he's trying to make a play, because he's capable of making a play. That's where I'm at with him. And I have no issue with him like others do.
Amen. I've never really watched Quinn Hughes until of late.
Mm-hmm.
And, we ain't breaking news here. He's just amazing.
Yes, he is.
His skill set, it's because of his size or lack thereof. His skill set is unique, isn't it?
I've never seen anything quite like it, to be quite honest with you. He never gets hit. Do you ever notice?
Wow.
He never gets hit.
That's a great point.
And I don't know if it's other guys on other teams just respecting his, his uniqueness.
Somebody hit him in that Sabres game, and then Foligno went after the guy.
Yeah, it was Faber.
Then they're Then they're in the box. Foligno and this other guy, Kesserling. They come out and then they fight, and they got problems the
entire
game.
Here's the deal. Kesserling said, "Do you want to fight after the?"
Yeah, but Moose was like, after the game, he was like, "It's Quinn."
Yeah.
It's Husey.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't go after Husey.
Husey.
Well, you go after Quincy. So
Quincy.
that drew Foligno into that fight, to your point.
Is it Foligno-Z?
Nobody ever hits Quinn Hughes.
Right.
A, because they can't find him, but B, when they do, they're going to pay for it.
But his skating ability is just no one.
It never stops.
No, and you think, he's in trouble, and he does a little spin, and he's out, and he's got free ice, and it's just. It's a treat to watch. We're lucky to have him. Very lucky to have him.
He's so twitchy. But what?
And he's got Brock Faber as a partner, which is the perfect partner because Faber thinks defense first before but he still has that ability to jump up and get involved in the play.
And I ain't trying to sound like Guy Sharon here on TSN or anything.
Yep.
But nevertheless, from what I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong here, he puts pucks in places you don't see coming.
Yeah.
Head on a swivel with this guy, man.
You better be ready at all times.
He's going full speed, back, forth. They're like, well, how'd it get there?
Yeah, his ability to get the puck to the net, too. And it's just one, he moves so quick with the puck, his stick. It's, and did you see his goal? Mm-hmm. He was irritated on that shot.
His goal? Which
against
one?
Buffalo.
I might have missed that one.
The slap shot.
I saw his
slap shot.
Ice.
He came in at the top of the circle, let a slap shot go. I mean, the goalie didn't even move. But there was a play before that he either didn't hit a pass or I don't know. I can't remember the play. Mm-hmm. But there was no way that anyone was going to stop that shot that he put on. So
our goalies have become a smidge leaky of late.
Well,
just a patch, right? Or are they regressing to means?
I always stick by this, and I always will. That when a goal is scored or when they lose a game, it's the goalie's fault. And to me, they go hand in hand. Are you defending? Where was it? Was it a good goal or a bad goal? Did we leave our goalie hung out to dry? And so it's a combination of both. And so I don't want to say, look at the numbers. Wallstead in his last 5 games has gone blah, da, da. Well, how did the team play in front of him?
Thursday night, I mean, it's a game-by-game deal. But but with Wallstedt, I mean, there were some bad goals. That's the only way to put it.
Fair enough. That's fair. I'd have to go back and look at the plays and say, yep, that was on him. Or, boy, he got hung out to dry. Nothing he could do. So, but I always stick to the notion of it goes hand in hand. Are we defending properly enough? And
Toronto tonight.
Yes.
But Winnipeg first. Smashed us Thursday.
Yes, they did.
Then beat Toronto Saturday.
Yep.
The Jets have won 5 consecutive, and Hellebuck looks good
again, but he was terrible.
Well, what do you think of the Jets? Are they on a comeback trail?
Well, the Jets have not changed their personnel very much from last year when they won the President's Trophy. It was there, okay, and they just played bad hockey. And we're talking defensively, their goaltending. They weren't getting enough out of. Jonathan Toews all of a sudden heating up, right? He's the new guy this year. He had 4 points against the Wild in that 6-1 win, or was it 6-1? I don't even know what
6-2.
It was. 6-2, whatever.
Jonathan Toews, I think, was a rookie in 2007 or something like that, right around. I mean, he's been around it's been
a long time.
Him and Patrick Kane.
He missed a couple of years because of that malady.
Yes.
Where's Kane these days?
Detroit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, and still playing well.
The Maple Leafs. Now, we got swept by the Leafs last year.
Yeah.
But before that, Toronto hadn't beat the Wild in regulation in 5 years. Toronto is down Nylander tonight.
Yeah, they might trade him. That's the hot rumor.
And he leads them in points.
Yeah, he's really good.
Analyze.
Love to see him here.
Analyze this one in Pat and Mick Tocchet fashion. Who do you think wins and why?
Well, I think it's such a different Toronto team. Mitch Marner is gone, and they are starting to find out how much they miss him. He was the, whipping boy for Toronto fans because they didn't get to the Cup last year. And so I think they're a different team. Austin Matthews is starting to play better. I think a lot of his maladies were injury, but he's starting to play better. Toronto is still poor defensively, and they don't have great goaltending. I think if I were a betting man, I'm right there with the Wild tonight. I really am.
The Maple Leafs employ Matthew Nyes.
Oh my gosh!
Well, he's great for the Gophers.
Yeah, well, it's great for Toronto.
He has 40 points.
Yeah,
I mean, he is absolutely a key to their covenant.
If you saw the pass he made to Austin Matthews the other night, it was
against Winnipeg.
I don't know who it was against. I can't remember, but it was off a draw, and he took it right to the net without looking.
Wow!
He sends a backhand pass right for a little tap-in goal for Austin Matthews.
Wow!
But he fought off two defenders while doing it. It was insane. It was insane, and so yeah, he's playing great for Toronto.
Panthers, middling right now.
Yeah.
And I guess, this is more NHL large specifically, but this was a team that overcame injuries. Kachuk hurt in the Four Nations bid, and they're hoisting the cup, and then we spend all summer fawning. Look at they kept all the guys.
Yeah.
They kept all the guys. They're going to run it back. It's a three-peat in motion. We just got to wait for Paul Maurice and company to execute on it. They are on the absolute grind right now, Patrick.
Yeah, and Kachuk is just the rumor that he's going to be back. I don't know if they play tonight. I think they play tonight. Yeah, he might be back tonight. But their key, Barkov, went down in practice with a torn ACL.
Oof.
And that was 2 months ago.
And that's about it.
And they missed their captain, not only because he's a great leader and all that kind of stuff, but just an unbelievable player. They're hurting right now. I mean, they may not make the playoffs, and so it's gonna be really tough.
Matthew Nyes, former Gopher.
Yes.
Oliver Moore.
Yeah.
Former Gopher for the Blackhawks. He has 5 goals and 9 assists at about 13 minutes per game.
Mm-hmm.
He's 20 years of age.
Yep.
A 20-year-old Mounds View native is fitting in quite decently, isn't he?
You know what? They sent him down.
Moore.
They sent him down out of training camp, and then they called him right back up.
Well, they couldn't keep him down there.
Couldn't. Sam Renzel, who started with Chicago, is now, both of them could be wearing maroon and gold.
Gopher,
but no, Oliver Moore. He started at wing. They had to move him to center because Bedard went out. I don't know if he's back on wing or not, but yeah, he, his speed is electric, and that's part of the reason they keep him up in with the big club.
And speaking of your Golden Gophers, Pat Micheletti was heard on television this weekend.
The top fires, fought off by Beckett's laying behind him. They dive for it, and it's in the net. It's a goal, and we're all even at 1-1.
Let it breathe. TV Pro.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Well, this power play starts with L.J. Mooney. What a play. His possession of the puck. He had everybody looking at him. Look at all the eyes are on him. Gets the shot. Peck can't see it. I think Lamb maybe got a piece of it. But Brody Zemer and his effort to get it in the back of the net ties this game up at 1 apiece. Look at just the effort of Brody Zemer as he comes in, slides, and knocks it in.
You wanted the alma mater to win so badly. I could just hear we could hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
The Sky Umaz lost 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Did you get on your feet, by the way?
I did.
Yeah.
I did stand that, because typically I stand anyway, but with my, mallet,
Your malady?
My malady. Yeah. But I did stand, for portions of the game this week, but that was the first lead that they took all weekend.
Wow.
And they were, Michigan is the number 1 team in the country for a reason. They are what do the kids call it? A wagon.
Yeah.
They're really, really good. But Minnesota took the lead. Really, in my opinion, played one good period all weekend, and that was the period. And, they had a chance then. They're like, they got a chance.
All right.
Keep playing.
Well, help the outsiders like me/us with this. They've lost 5 in a row.
Yes.
Haven't won in a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Almost beat top-ranked Michigan Saturday at the Mooch. 8-14-1 on the year.
Yep.
4-8 in the Big Ten. It's we are just not used to one of these around here. So, what's happening?
Well, they lost, and this is not an excuse-o-meter, but they lost 40% of their scoring when you lose Matthew Wood, Sam Renzel, Oliver Moore, Connor Kurth, and I'm probably missing one. That's tough to replace. They are awfully, awfully young. This is a team that is very, very offensively challenged. They've got a lot of young kids that are going to get there, but they're playing in spots that, quite frankly, they wouldn't be playing in if those guys were back.
I see.
Okay, and so you jump into the college hockey from junior hockey, and it's a different animal. And so if you don't have that experience and I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for here.
Cohesiveness?
Well, just the maturity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that takes time.
It takes time.
Yeah.
And you're playing a Michigan team that, a kid like TJ Hughes, he's been there. This is his 4th year.
I see.
And you got other guys that are just skilled, and Minnesota lacks, they don't have the Jackson Lacombe, Brock Faber, offensive type defenseman and what you really need in college hockey.
Eric Johnson.
Eric Johnson too. Yeah, absolutely.
Jordan Leopold.
We can go on and on with the list of great offensive defensemen that Minnesota's had in the past. But to win in college hockey, you need an offensive defenseman. Done. Period. Stop.
Our favorite squad is 35th in the pairwise.
Yeah. Not gonna make the tournament unless they make a playoff run.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But at 35th in the pairwise, you're behind juggernauts like Augustana and Bentley.
Augustana is
what's Bentley?
Bentley is a new program that has went Division I 3 years ago.
Augustana relatively new, right?
This is their 3rd or 4th year, and Augustana coached by former Gopher assistant Garrett Raboyne.
Okay.
Who Bob brought with him from St. Cloud.
Oh, yeah.
As an assistant.
Okay. Well, St. Thomas, also relatively new.
They are
14th in the pairwise.
They're a very good team.
Brother, 14th in the pairwise.
Yep.
The Tommies have won 8 in a row. Does Rico Blase have a high-end squad over there?
He does.
Something Nordo thought he'd never hear me say in the history.
Unbelievable, yes.
And the new arena. Everything's good for the Tommies right now.
And get this, the CCHA, which normally gets 1, and that is the conference champion or the tournament champion into the tournament. This year, they may get 3.
Wow.
They may get 3.
So the top,
right now, Hockey East.
Crazy.
Power, right? Hockey East, Boston U, Boston College, Providence, blah, blah, blah. Go down the list. Right now, they have 1 team in the tournament. May only get 1 team.
The Tommies.
No.
Hockey East.
Hockey East.
Hockey East, my fault.
Hockey East. Yeah. That's on the East Coast.
I thought we were still on CCHA.
Massachusetts.
Or me asking about Ben Johnson on a 2-point conversion, and we're talking about Cam Curl. But anyway.
And not Nico Medved and those tough 3 or 4 point losses. Yeah, but
none of it's going to matter. Pat.
None of it's going to matter.
Because Denver's 10th in the pairwise.
Yeah.
Nobody's thinking about him.
Right. No.
Sandlin's top 10. He stopped messing around.
Yeah, North Dakota might be back on one, right?
North Dakota, Duluth, or UMD. I don't know what I don't want to get in trouble.
St. Cloud.
St. Cloud is right on the bubble, but they had a big win over UMD this weekend, which helped their MPI. What are they right now? I don't know. You don't need to look.
Man, Minnesota State's kind of a disaster right now too.
Well,
and you must say,
don't sleep on Minnesota State.
You must say Minnesota State and not just say Mankato. By the way,
I just say Fankato.
What do you say,
Mike? I will always call it Mankato State because that's what it was when I was a kid.
Minnesota State Mankato. Give them some. That's the reason for the change.
No, Mankato State. That's fine.
We're going to say goodbye. But
why?
I've had a question in the Tolstoy.
Yes.
For Kevin Gorg last week at one point, didn't get to it. Russo Radio 1 point last week, didn't get to it. And you today, not getting to it. I'm just going to put it out there so you can chew on it a little bit. How do I know
that I haven't gotten to it unless you've asked me?
Well, next week, maybe we can ponder this.
Okay.
Name the forwards in the NHL. Name the forwards you would prefer over the 19-year-old Macklin Celebrini. He has 72 points in 47 games.
I think he should win. Yes, I think
last year he splashed with 63 points.
Yes.
He had 63 points in 70 games, and everybody was on his jock.
Yes.
Now he has 72 points in 47 games.
Sheesh.
Patrick, he steals shows and changes games. So you just think about it on your drive home. Right?
I don't need to think about it. Right. I know what I'm my answer.
Okay, we'll save it for next week. It's the ultimate tease.
Okay.
Have a great day. Pat Micheletti.
Great to see you.
You too. At Pat Mick 2626.
Great to see you, Nordo.
Great to see you. Before we get to the news, I got to hit you with this. The 2026 Progressive Minneapolis Boat Show sails into the Minneapolis Convention Center January 22nd through the 25th. That's this weekend. Check out a wide selection of boats and boating gear, must-see attractions, and fun for the whole family. Get the full details and find out how you can register for a new 24-foot DACA dock. Now, just go to KFAN.com, keyword calendar. And that does bring us to News du Nord, which is presented by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. Poker, blackjack, and table games all year long. Feeling the felt, having sips of chips. And then live racing, of course, kicking off at in the spring. Event details, just go to Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. To the Minnesota Wild, they got a doubleheader in front of them, but this is what happened behind them in Buffalo.
Intercepted and shoved down by Samuelson.
Yeah, that's going to kill the clock with just 5 seconds to go with the man advantage.
Wild with a quick re-attack. Kaprizov in. Krause Zuccarello scores! Matt Zuccarello wins it in overtime! His second overtime winner of the year, and the Wild stun the Sabres in Buffalo. It's a 5-4 win for Minnesota.
Absolutely.
Man, Minnesota Wild needed that on Saturday. 5-4, the final. Gus Bus in net, and the Minnesota Wild advanced to 27-13-9, and that had stopped a stretch where technically they get a point versus the Isles last weekend. We know that, but all the same, on the losing side of the ledger, 3 consecutive games for what's been kind of an injury-filled, grinding stretch. Really going back to, I'd say, just before New Year's Eve, Christmas time, if we want to nail it there. Getting points in games and on the wrong side of some lopsided bits, like against the Devils in the Hughes-a-thon last Monday. Winnipeg in town on Thursday. First Vox in the box of the season for 9 to noon. Why wouldn't the Jets come into town after the Wild had beat them twice and just whomp on them? 6-2 the final there. But it's a double header in front of us tonight. 6:30 p.m.-ish puck drop. They are in Toronto. And then tomorrow night, 6 p.m. puck drop, Montreal. And you're going to get to hear both of those on your home for Wild Hockey, The Fan.
They're quickly approaching the Olympic break. So there are more than a handful, but not a ton of games left before the Olympic break. And I think from a physical standpoint, for a fair amount of members of the Minnesota Wild, that's going to hit at a good time. Yeah. I'm excited for tonight's game.
That's one thing. Maybe it's a Russo conversation or just fodder later in the week. If the team is indeed, if Billy G has more tricks up his sleeve, do they make said move prior to the Olympic break? Do they push that? I think the deadline's like March 6th or something. So the Olympics will have come and gone certainly by then.
Yeah.
But I wonder what the philosophy is with this team. And then they're banged up right now. We need guys to get healthy, and the Olympic break could be good for at least 1 or 2 of those players, maybe to get fully healthy on the backside of it. But I just wonder what the philosophy is there for Billy G as he looks to make moves. To the NFL, the divisional round of the postseason comes to a conclusion. You see the Broncos winning in overtime, but losing as they lose Bo Nix to a broken ankle. The Seahawks, I mean, the Niners just had nothing left from a health perspective, and it was a dominant performance by the Seahawks on Saturday night. Not necessarily dominant by Sam Darnold, but you didn't have to be. because Kenneth Walker ran for a mile and scored 3 touchdowns as part of that, and Rashid Shaheed gets that opening kick touchdown return that certainly put things on the right side of stuff for the 12s and those at Lumen Field in Seattle. But the finale, we know the Texans turned it over a ton of times. They lose to the Patriots. It'll be Patriots and Broncos at Mile High this next weekend. But I just wanted to play for you, like, big moment in last night's game. Bears are done. We get all that. But fourth quarter, 4th down. He was at the 14-yard line. Let's hear how our guy Jeff Joniak described that game-tying touchdown effort.
Rams show blitz. They peel off Kmet left. Snap to Williams. Williams backing up, being chased, going way back now. Back to his 40. Lofts a pass into the end zone. Go, Kmet! Caught the ball! Touchdown! Left corner of the end zone. My goodness! The Iceman did it one more time! Bears are down a point. 17-16.
Jeff Joniak and Bears Radio, they kicked the extra point. Maybe they should have gone for 2. We talked about that earlier. But then Kevin Harlan, national radio. I needed to hear how Kevin Harlan would describe the action. Primetime football divisional round Sunday.
It's 4th and 4 at the Ram 14, and in the gun is the quarterback, Caleb Williams. Looks into the nickel, arms outstretched. 4th down and 4, 14 of the Rams. Shotgun snap, goes back 4-man rush. He's chased, he's flushed, he's all the way back to the 40. He's backpedaling and throws a pass into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Touchdown! Chicago has caught a touchdown pass.
Trying to find Kmet.
Let's pull Kmet.
There it is.
Open in the corner. If you hadn't seen it, you would not believe it.
So moments like that, PA, that is not necessarily what defines, okay, here are the pros and cons of Caleb Williams it's not an exercise in elite skill as much as it is maybe the immeasurable side of playmaking. Because I've heard people kind of trying to pour some water on a PA. They've said, well, that was just a lucky ass throw. I mean, he was throwing up a prayer and said prayer was answered. I think in some ways that's accurate, but do you not have to tip cap?
Oh, yeah.
And bow to the idea of a cat, and he can be mistake-laden at times.
Yep.
He threw a total of 5 interceptions in these 2 playoff games. Can't blame all of them on DJ Moore, one way or the other. But he's trying, he's making plays, he's running to the sideline, as you mentioned, and he's throwing darts right on a rope to XYZ player, including Colston Loveland at times. But you have to tip your cap. Like, in those moments, he appears to be unflappable, almost craving the opportunity to do that. I was absolutely astonished by what I saw and not mentally squared away to even consider whether the team should go for 1 or go for 2 in that spot after that throw.
His arm talent when he's going the way you're not supposed to go and have extreme arm talent.
Running left, throwing right, those sorts of things.
Yeah, I think it was a Dunze in the Packer game when Caleb was running left late and his feet got all crossed up and then he just threw it 3/4 Phil Rivers.
How does that happen?
Bam. He had another one last night where he was just kind of drifting and falling left a little bit. Dime. Same thing with that one where it's an elite pass, but the A topic on the play, in my estimation, has to be the way Kobe Durant played, the cornerback played the play.
Yeah.
I mean, did he have 2 picks or 1? He had at least 1. I mean, he was having...
Durant had a pick.
Yeah, he was having the game of his life before that moment.
But who picked the one off? And I know he ran it back within a couple yards of the line of scrimmage, so he kind of got lucky there. Mm-hmm. That's the 2nd or 3rd time, I think, this postseason where we've seen some defensive back, God bless him, make a complete boneheaded move on a 4th down, just knock the ball down.
Right. Well, he either lost the ball or lost his mind.
I think a little bit of both on the throw to Kmet, for sure.
That's what I'm saying is, okay, well, first and foremost, you get a tight end in a one-on-one situation with a corner. So if the ball is accurate, the tight end is taller, he's bigger, he has a dramatically better chance of getting it than the corner. But the corner, looked up and then went the wrong... He headed the wrong way.
Yeah, people are trying to say Kmet pushed off. there was a hand on his back. That was not the type of situation in that moment where you can say there was offensive pass interference.
No. They were jostling for position. Each player gets to make a little move like that.
Totally fair. Can't believe he lost him in the lights. And the Rams are moving on, and it'll be a fun championship weekend. 2 p.m., you're going to get to see Jarrett Stidham hosting Drake May and the Patriots. Stidham, a former Patriot. I think he was drafted by the Pats, in fact. And then 5:30 p.m., you'll get to see the Rams, a rematch of what was an unbelievable Thursday night game, one of the regular season games of the season. The Rams are at the number 1 seeded Fighting Darnolds. That'll be at 5:30 p.m. Looking forward to that. When we return, let's continue some championship weekend conversation looking back. I think Ryan Harris, Golden Domer, former member of the Broncos, had a ring with the Broncos. He's going to join us, PA.
There it is. Be right back.